Hello, everybody. Welcome to the third episode of the Caro Pit. I'm here. No, it's not the third.
No.
It's the fourth.
Yeah.
It's the fourth. Of course, it's the fourth. Yeah.
No, it was quick.
I'm here with Simón. How are you, Simón?
Good, very good. Very happy to be here. A lovely day in the Netherlands, so could it be better? Sun is shining, weather's good, temperature's good. It's Saturday, so yeah, awesome.
The summer, eh? Saturday after Hemelvaart. So, very
Yeah.
good. Very nice.
How are you?
I'm good. Excited to be finally recording the fourth episode. This is good.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have you here. Where are we in the Netherlands?
We are in the city of Maastricht, capital of the province of Limburg. Few kilometers from Belgium.
I'm from Germany.
From Germany as well. Yeah, we're in the center of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, are you ready to begin?
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Simon, as I always begin, let's begin with the beginning. Where do you come from? What was your family like? What was your relationship with God / religion when you were growing up?
Yeah. So, like as Gio said, my name is Simon. Simon, Simon, call me as you like. I was born on the 28th of March, 1994 in Venlo, which is in the north of this province. So in the Netherlands, close to Germany. I'm the youngest of four. I'm actually one half of twins. I have a non-identical twin brother,
Okay.
and I have two older brothers that are actually half brothers. So yeah, I was born in 94 in the second marriage of my mom. She before she got to know my dad, she was married once before and she had two kids. And then unfortunately she got divorced, and then at a certain point she got to know my dad. And yeah, so my twin brother and myself, we were born. And until we were 9, we were living together as a family, the six of us. I wouldn't say happily together because it wasn't very happily. Like I don't remember much of my first years, but like especially the last memories that I have of like our family of the six of us together was that there was always discussions and fights going on in my house. So at the age of 9, our parents, they split up. Unfortunately, my mom, for the second time, she got divorced, and then we moved elsewhere within the same town, Venlo. So my mom and then the four of us. So yeah, my dad is from the Netherlands, from Venlo, from this town. And my mom, unfortunately, she passed away. But she was from Valencia, in Spain. Valencia. And yeah, so our house is pretty mixed culture, I would say. So my mom, she was 15 when she moved to the Netherlands with my grandparents and with her sister, my aunt. And that was in the 70s. And from my mom's side, my grandparents, well, my grandma never got to know my grandfather, but my grandma, she was Catholic. And from my dad's side, they're from the Catholic part of Limburg, and God was present. At least faith, religion had a part in their lives. So whenever my twin brother and I, we would go and sleep over at our grandparents on Saturday evenings, we would go to mass every now and then. So yeah, we were baptized and we did the first communion. My Spanish grandma, for some reason, like out of the four, I was the one that was taught the typical Spanish prayers to the guardian angel, Angelito de la Guarda, and Jesucito de mi vida, my little Jesus of my life, and like our Father, the Hail Mary. Like you can pretty much say that religion at least had some role. Like wasn't something totally unknown to me. But like later on to my conversion, which was about 7 years ago. Yeah, 6, 7 years ago, that when everything started. Up until then, I don't know, religion was more like a cultural part of us, cultural part of myself. Yeah, traditions that you like try to cherish as a family. So like Christmas and all of these things. But we would never go to church. Like as a family, our parents and like the siblings, we would never go for Christmas or for Easter. Like many times in the Netherlands, you still hear from people that go with their grandparents for Christmas and like with their parents. But that was not even the case in our family. Yeah. So yeah, basically this.
Okay. How was your life before? Because like you understand the concept of carrot pit, no? Like this thing of that moment where you're in your lowest low. What happened before
The climax. So yeah, like as I said, I'm the youngest of four, and first we lived together as the six of us. Like I was always the odd one out, anyways. So it's like when very quickly when people like ask you to introduce yourself, like for some people it's like it's easy, but especially for me as a kid, it was very difficult because I was constantly compared to my twin brother and to my other brothers, and like I don't know, people would always for some reason highlight how I would never play soccer and I didn't have many friends or like male friends in like primary school and all of these things. I was very shy and very much alone. I would spend a lot of time with my mom, just like painting and stuff. I love to be around the house and just play games on my own and stuff. And I think on the one hand, that was because I liked just being like on my own, just very calmly. On the other hand, I felt a lot of mismatch with people of my age. Yeah. And so this solitude that wasn't a complete solitude because I was with my mom most of the time. When our parents decided to divorce, yeah, my mom had to start working. Before that, she was like taking care of us and the house. But as we moved out, she had to start working and take on two, like at a certain point, even three jobs. So that's where there was a complete solitude for me. I was alone in the house. Our lives were pretty much trying to survive. Our mom was very hurt from the divorce and from another broken marriage. And I didn't have a very good relationship with my dad. Honestly, apart from the biological relationship, the biological link, there wasn't much of a relationship anyways with my dad. Like I'd never till the divorce, I'd never done anything with my dad on my own, like ever. And as they split up, our parents decided that my twin brother and I, every second weekend, we would go to our dad's. So one weekend at his, and then the following weekend at our mom's, and like so back and forth. So, and this is the first time where, well, then together with my twin brother, I was in a setting where I kind of had the chance to get to know my dad, but like he felt like a stranger to me because he was always working. He has his own company, and yeah. So, I was very alone. I was hurt. I feel that the five of us, as we moved out, well, the six of us, each of us, we entered in some kind of like roller coaster of emotions, each of us trying to survive and cope the entire situation. And that it carried on like this for a very long time. So yeah, basically you had like a 9, 10 year old who had to move to another primary school because we moved to another part of town. And again, like I didn't have a connection with people my age. I again felt like, gosh, these people, they're interested in all the things that I don't like and like vice versa. So I was alone at a certain point. I was very young still. Um, Unfortunately, pornography and everything entered into my life. I was, I think, like 10 or 11 years old. Like insane how young I was. Everything like my entire life was very dark. I went to at a certain point here in the Netherlands, when you're 12, 13 years old, you start going to high school. I went to high school and the same happened. Like it was like a never-ending story of me just not finding my spot in society up until I really started doubting about who I was and like why I had the feeling that I was more of a burden to most of the people. And so I really had like I started to hit rock bottom at the age of 14, 15 already. That was I think I had my two rock bottom moments, but that was the first one where I just couldn't handle it anymore. And so I don't know. I was lost. I was not happy with life. And my mom's, there were only worries and there were only tears and there was no laughter at all. So I decided to change, to actually move to my dad's,
Okay.
who by then had um, entered like a new relationship with another woman who already had kids from another marriage. I moved there, and my mom, I remember sitting around the dinner table at my mom's, and she was sitting there at the spot she was always sat at, and then my siblings and myself. And I looked at my mom, and I was really shy and nervous. I said, "Mom, I think I want to go and live with Dad." And she looked at me, and like she was lost for words. All of a sudden this silence erupted, and it was, you could cut the tension in the room. And she said, "You know what? After 10, 20 seconds or so, if you don't like living here, then, well, then I guess it's best for you to pick your stuff and leave." My brothers looked at me and they started crying. That for me, it was a very tough moment because they gave me the feeling that I'd betrayed them. Like I'd chosen the enemy, you know? And so that was perhaps like a second very big trauma of me. Um, and so I moved to my dad's. I will not go into detail because like this podcast could become a 5 hour story. But I moved to my dad's. I didn't feel a part of the family because like it was a different wife with her kids. And then when I was 18, 19, I decided to move back to my mom's. I was there for, I don't know, perhaps a year. And then I got to know my ex, who was from Spain. My ex was doing an exchange in the Netherlands. So I decided to move to Spain. I was there for 4 years, did my studies there. And like always, all of these feelings that I just explained, they always kept with me. Like I always felt the person that was the outsider, the black sheep, that would have to do whatever to get people's attention. But like I was never really like in sync with my emotions because like there was always like this hole within, something was always lacking. The end of the relationship after 6.5 years, actually. So, yeah, we split up. I had moved back to the Netherlands because after my degree, I couldn't find a job and the relationship wasn't going anywhere. My ex had different future prospects, ideas of how life was going to be. So I decided to cut the relationship. And after that relationship, I was dating a bit, but then things didn't work out with somebody I met. And this is my moment. So sorry for the entire introduction of like
No, don't worry.
half an hour, but this is where I hit rock bottom because I felt like even with my ex and even with another person, I was within my family, and so I never felt that I was loved. I never felt complete. I never felt whole, and I was like, you know what? Life, mind my French, life sucks. If life is about getting your degree, finding your other, as we say in Spanish, the other half of the orange, like everybody is broken. Like I see a world with people that are unfulfilled, that are broken, and that are looking for stuff to like cover up their necessities in the short term. And it's like, I don't know, you buy stuff, you do things, and then you have like these moments of, oh, I feel happy. And then after you feel down again, and then you look for something to make you happy. And then, it's like, what is happening? So this is where really the moment where I questioned reality, life, reality, existence, me, who I am, and everything. And this is like, honestly, my feeling was, and it wasn't like I was super depressed or so. I was just extremely numb. I was like, you know what? I think life is just not nice. It's not interesting. Like, what is it about life? If somebody kills me right now, it's okay because like anyways, it's boring. I don't feel complete anyways. And I just feel like I really had the feeling that we were in a world of machines, of robots, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this was until you were around what age?
I would say 23, 24. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm now 31. Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting close.
Yeah.
So what was like the
What was that? Yeah.
What was the change? What happened? What drew you to this car of Pete? What drew you to I don't know, that moment of needing a change?
Yeah. So like that very moment in life, I felt like something needs to change. It was amazing because I discovered, and like this is of course a posteriori, so afterwards it's very easy to identify it, but like I now really see that I had discovered an interior desire, a thirst. It's like I'm so thirsty for something that makes me feel alive. And I kind of like not really actively started a quest, but like, yeah, these were questions that were very much present in my mind. And so step by step, already in Spain, but also then after here in the Netherlands, yeah, like I would really be very, very much focused on people that came across as very alive, and very present and yeah, not enslaved by life, by society. And many times, I think most of the time, these were people that had faith in one way or another. So uh, around the age of 23, 24, I got to know a girl. Her name is Maria Amelia. She was doing her exchange, God bless the exchanges, and in the Netherlands. And could say she was like, apart from a student, she was a missionary because she was just practicing her faith and just very much being just, a normal girl, but and sometimes would share something about her faith when people asked her. But yeah, wasn't somebody that was like sharing the gospel the entire time, but just by her, the way she would like listen to you and be around you. And so I was like very struck by that. And so we became very good friends. And at a certain point, she asked me, would you like to come and join me for mass someday? Because like I shared about yeah life and stuff, and I was like, you know what, let's go. It's like I of course have my childhood memories of going to church with my grandparents, and there wasn't a very negative connotation. Instead, like yeah, it was nice, a nice surrounding, and I went there to church, and it started with one Sunday, and then there was a second, and then a third, and then I was sitting there every Sunday. It became also like this habit of the two of us going to church on Sunday, and as time passed by, getting to know other young people as well in that ecosystem of the church, and so um, then Maria Emilia left, but because her the semester ended. But I decided to continue because it felt good. Like these questions still were there in my mind, but yeah, for some reason I felt this tranquility, this the calmness. Yeah, it was this one moment in the week where yeah, I felt good. I wasn't even praying still, but I went up to the priest, Father Mark Gallo from the Philippines. He was a missionary priest and said, I want to do my confirmation. Like, I didn't know why, but I really sensed that, you know what, this is a place where I can, like, see myself in the short, middle, and the long term, Yeah, so I did my preparations for confirmation and then at a certain point got confirmed, which it was striking that my parents weren't there for my confirmation. I told my dad on the one hand and then my mom on the other. And I think my mom had to work, but my dad, he had like things to do with friends. And then my grandparents said, we'll join my Dutch grandparents. They said, we'll join. And so they came and it was very nice. I was super happy. I felt like, even if I were here alone, I would be over the moon with excitement. But it was very nice that my grandparents came, and I think this was a turning point, like because I was watching more and more YouTube videos, Father Mike Schmitz and all of them, you know them, looking up to like what is faith and who's Jesus, and like I wanted to know more about faith, and I was learning a lot. And then that summer, I was asked to be like a tutor on a summer camp
Okay.
for boys um, from the age of 11 till like 16,
Like
17.
of lifting?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like life team, but it was like organized by just a parish,
Okay.
but that it was open to people from the entire diocese. And so and I said, yeah, I'll go. I back in the days in Spain, I had been entertainment on a hotel like area and stuff. So I just love like being surrounded with kids and so. And I went there, and there was a priest from Spain, Father Miguel, from the New Catechumenal Way, and he was together with a seminarist, Daniel from Colombia, also from the Camino, the way. And Daniel and I, no, David, that was his name. David and I, we became very good friends. I had opened up about like my inner struggles with David, and he told me to go and talk with Father Miguel. And I was like, Father, it's like I have so much like in me, so much brokenness, and I like there's this problem of yeah, all of my brokenness and my traumas, and there's pornography and masturbation and everything, and like so many more things. Like I kind of like I threw everything on the table. I said, and I'm here in church. Like, how can this work? I'm such a broken person. How can I be part of church? Many of the things I do, they go against the teachings of the church, and I have the feeling that I have not found a way to be my whole self yet. I don't know who am I. And he looked at me and he said, "You know what? Don't worry, because God's never made a mistake with anybody, and so all is good. He is very happy with the way he made you. And just so you know, you are loved. You are immensely loved. You are a son of God. And he is so happy with just who you are." And like, there was a long conversation of a half an hour. And yeah, we would talk about a lot of stuff. And to be honest, I don't think I remember most of it. But what I do remember is what was happening within me. And like this hold, like this thirst that I was just describing, the hole or the thirst, or, it became still, it became filled. There was this moment where the Lord gave me my name. It was really as if, although I was talking to the priest, it was the Lord looking into my eyes and telling me, "I acknowledge you. You are my son, and I love you. And you, my beloved son, it is your goal in life is to be with me, to be in communion with me, and just to abide in my love, to be with me, just to allow me to embrace you, to hold you by, to take you by the hand, to hold you in all of your struggles in your daily life, whatever you do and wherever you go." And I came out of this conversation that lasted, I think it was half an hour, but honestly, like I didn't have a watch with me, and like by that time it was somewhere in the afternoon. It gone dark already, and but I walked out of the conversation being like, what just happened? Like, what is this? It's like I'm here at some campsite. I never been here. And I had this conversation with a priest I never saw, but everything is so real, and like I feel different. There's this light that is just a light bulb shining in my chest and giving me so much warmth. And the day that was, I think on a Saturday, I think that was a Friday, and on a Saturday there was adoration, and I was just all the time I wanted to be closer to the Lord. And in adoration there was the Blessed Sacrament was exposed, and I just felt stilled. I felt like I found all of the answers. I found everything that I had so many questions before, but all of a sudden, in a split second, everything has just come to ease and everything is good. It's like this moment of where you read in Genesis and God every day creates something new, and unto the very moment where he makes mankind, man and woman, in his image and likeness. And then up until then, everything before that, everything is good, but then all of a sudden God looks and says that it is very good. I love this part of Genesis because yes, there I felt it is very good. I don't know where life is going, but I feel that I'm living the goal of life, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. After all you said, yeah. Okay. And what happened?
Yeah, then the camp ended, of course. I mean, I was not gonna stay there the rest of my life. Some random place in the middle of nowhere. I went home and I felt so different. And it was a new me, totally restored and so beloved and blessed. Going back to his old broken life, to the same place with the same people and everything. But yeah, I wasn't alone anymore because I had recovered my sight and discovered that Jesus was with me the entire time. It was the Holy Spirit just leading me and accompanying me. And so since then, being in communion with him is something that the most inner part of me longs for all the time, seeks for. It's before I wake up, well, before I come out of bed and before I go to sleep. It's just looking for him everywhere and everything. Just, yeah. And I'm still working, living normal life, just the way it was before, but it's so differently. And it's the love that I receive, I want to share it with other people, and I feel it's very necessary that each and every one of us discovers that you are a beloved child of God. And up until the very moment you discover this, you're never going to be happy. Because I see so many people around me in the Netherlands and anywhere in the world of people just doing life the way our societal book tells us to go. It's like study, get your job, get a house, find your other half, and get married, establish a family. And so it's like all of this, none of this makes any sense as long as you've not found he is the way, the truth, and life. Because like you can't expect other people to make you feel happy. I think it's very transactional and it's unfair to put your luck and your happiness and your fulfillment in other people's hands because those people have the same expectations, vice versa. And we are very broken people. It's like even in the most perfect families, you'll find people with wounds still because it's just the way it is. I've there's this there's a group from actually a music group from Mexico. They're called Un Corazón.
Okay.
I don't know if you know them. They
No.
have an album, and it's called Kintsugi. And I was like, Kintsugi, this is a weird word. So I looked it up, and I think it's beautiful. It's a Japanese art where they take a vessel, they break it, and then they put it back together with a golden glue. And it's the art where it shows that the vessel, when it's broken and put back together, but with the golden lines, is more beautiful than it is before. And I feel like that is such an amazing analogy of us with the Lord. Like he is that glue and he's like the kintsugi art where he brings all these pieces together and makes it beautiful. Yeah.
I love how you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like right now, well, after all these years that, well, you mentioned 7 years already?
Yeah.
How do you deal? Because I think sometimes what happens is that we think we are always gonna feel that the way we felt the day like we converted, no? This day when you just feel like you came back to life and everything is great and there's not a single bad thing in the world. But there's times when we don't feel like that, like our relationship with God. Sometimes I find this relationship very interesting that uses Christopher West, that is like our life is like the mysteries of the rosary, no? And sometimes we are in the glorious mysteries and sometimes we are in the sorrowful mysteries. How do you deal with these sorrowful mysteries in your life that has come after these moments when you don't feel God as you used to feel him, when you cannot pray correctly, when like you go from a moment when you pray and you cry and you feel super connected with God and everything is great, but then these moments when you just feel like, yeah, I mean, God is there but I don't feel him.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah, well, as years have gone by, I think I've learned more and more to not rely only on my feelings as well, because I think that they drift us away from God many times. Because one time we're happy and one time we are sad, and one time you feel God and one time you don't. But there's I don't know, there's ever since then, um I experience with the Lord was so real that I know for a matter of fact that he is there and I am loved. And to seek, even if I don't feel him, to seek and to allow him to come to me, because it's always, I feel it's always the Lord that comes to us in our look. He's always looking for us, just to allow him in. And like many times I go to adoration or like in prayer, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do, and I'm like, it's just like being with a friend. It's like, or being with your dad, or being, you can just be, you know. And I feel that, yeah, he doesn't ask much more than that. And just accept that. Accept your yeah, human nature of being very all over the place. But allow him and go anywhere with him. I mean, of course, there are many times that I don't feel him, but don't rely on your feelings. Rely on what you know, and ask God for His grace to remember you every time, how He's revealed you already in the very small things. Don't focus only on the private relationship you have with the Lord, because He's omnipresent, He's everywhere, right? And so I think it's crucial to have this private relationship with the Lord, yes, but don't reduce Him to just that. It's like if you go out in nature and you see how amazing everything is, and your friendships and everything, like sometimes just stand still and think of how amazing it is that things are the way they are. It's like this morning I went out for for a run, and you see the birds, and you see the sun, and the trees and the grass, and everything is just in such harmony. It's like, yeah, he's there, and perhaps I don't feel him, but if I step out of my human feelings, um, I can acknowledge him. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Like it happened to me on the Ascension Mass last Thursday. I had to go to work afterwards and I didn't really want to go. And I was like in a bad mood, like Stefan noticed that I was in a bad mood and he was like, "Is everything okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." But we went to Mass and I was just not like feeling like praying, like that happens sometimes, There's sometimes when you don't feel like praying. But the music was just so pretty. Like it was this brass band. What was the name? Fanfare that used the priest. I just started crying. Like it was just so pretty, so, so pretty. And Stefan was like, "Are you okay?" And I was just like, "Yes, yes, I'm okay. I just want to listen to the music, And it was like God telling me, like, "I know you don't want to go to work, but I'm here and I will go to work with you. And yeah, like I just like stopped crying and then started crying again. It's that moment when you cannot even, you didn't say anything. It's just something that you see. And yeah, he went with me to work because that was a terrible day, but he was there with me. And I think it's very important because sometimes when people convert, they think that they will feel this way all the time.
No.
Like they will feel super in ecstasies all the time. And the truth is, it's not.
I think that would be very dysfunctional. I think it would be very tough if we always felt like this, because I would be just overflown by grace the entire time and His love. And it's like He wants, but actually, if I think about it, it's not even the way He wants us to live as well, because that would that would reduce your freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, a priest once told me that he also wants us to choose him when we don't feel him, because it's very easy to love him when we just see life beautifully, like when you say yes and everything is great and the sun is out. But no, he also wants us to love him when the day is rainy and when everything is going wrong and when
Yeah.
you're tired and when nothing is going right. And it helps us value more the moments, because if every time we were just having these great moments, we wouldn't feel the grace of God in those moments, because it would be something of every day. But it is like bite,
Yeah.
like bites of what it is His grace.
Yeah, like a glimpse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a glimpse. And it's like He's not gonna give it full all the time, because then we wouldn't value it.
No, exactly.
So yeah, I think it's super important for the converts to know, like, there's gonna be no moments when you're not gonna be feeling amazing. There's gonna be days when you won't be feeling like God is here all the time. There's days, and I'm in this moment right now. I converted a year ago, and like the first months were amazing and everything was super great, and then like these last 6 months has been super hard. Like these moments when you just go to holy hour and it's like I don't even know what to talk about. Like my mind is somewhere else, like, but then it's like in these tiny ways, I can identify very clearly these tiny ways in which God tells me I'm here, like
Yeah.
I'm here with you. And it's to see it with a lot of peace. It doesn't mean that we just converted in vain, no? It doesn't mean like, oh, what I thought was, it isn't. No, it's actually a process and a curve, like sometimes we're here, sometimes we're here, but when we're here, obviously we're gonna go up again, like it's life. In life, things go well, things go bad, and
But a good thing is, I think that the most amazing thing is that his love for us doesn't depend on us. Because, like, yeah, we go up and down. I think you could see it as your dad and you, It's like nothing's gonna change this. You are a child of his, and you're loved because you're a child. And we should be very careful with comparing God with human people because everybody has failures and wounds and stuff. But even moments where you feel you can't choose him, or moments when you fall or so, you can just get back up, and there's love and mercy all the time. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's beautiful to think he doesn't love us for what we do. He loves us taking into account all we do. Quiere a pesar de lo que hacemos.
Yeah.
Se diría?
He loves us regardless
Regardless of what we do, like he doesn't
Yeah.
love us because we love him. No?
Yeah, I think even that sentence we can just shorten it as he loves us. Full stop. There is nothing after that because it's unconditional. So there is no vocabulary that can express that or that can finish that sentence that would actually comprehend the strength and the magnitude of that. And it's just reality. He loves us. Full stop. It's like but yes, no, and no.
No but, no yes, no and.
No regardless, not except, no besides, or no. It's like don't look for things that are not there. Un, it's unconditional love and unconditional mercy. Because whenever you go for confessions, you know for a matter of fact that you will always be forgiven. And that's God. He always forgives you. Even when you are not able to forgive yourselves for things that you've done to yourself or to others, He always wants to forgive you. He always forgives you, and He always loves you. And even the things that you do, it just doesn't change. And so if you enter philosophy, He is constant. Like there is nothing that can alter God.
One last question. It's about your tattoos. I wanted to ask because I see some pretty things. I don't know. Would you like to tell a little bit what, especially this one? I wonder which verse from the Bible it is.
So it's Isaiah. I think that's the most interesting one. I think the most striking one as well because it's a verse, so people know that it's there. It's like not because Isaías 43:1, Isaiah 43:1. It just looks nice and no, of course not. Isaiah 43:1. Do not fear. I have called you by name. Sorry, my translations.
Do you know it in Dutch or in
En
Spanish?
Spanish, no tengas miedo, yo te he redimido, te puse nombre, eres mío.
You're mine.
Don't be afraid, for I have redeemed you. I've called you by name. You're mine.
You're mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my constant reminder as well. He is the only one that knows you inside out. He is the one that you belong to, and so it very much for me highlights our childhood and God. Yeah, and I've redeemed you. Well, I mean, not much we have to say about that. Well, this extreme sacrifice of God giving up His only Son out of love so that we can live in Him. It's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, you reminded me the other day I went to mass and the gospel was so simple. It was like literally like 5 lines, super short, but it was like this reference to how we are his sheep, no? And he said, there's no way, I have never heard it before, but it was like, there's no way my sheep can be taken away from me because they are mine. They are mine.
Yeah,
They cannot be taken away.
exactly.
And it was just as simple as that. And I remembered also one 10 Minutes with Jesus
Yeah.
from Opus 8. And that it said, like, God loves us even though he knows we are the stupid sheep that ends up falling in the same hole. You know, like there's this sheep that always falls in the same hole. He takes us out. And he knows we're gonna jump again in the same hole. And he's still gonna take us out, no?
He will again and again leave the 99 to go and find you. Yeah. Even though your compass is very dysfunctional and you lose him all the time, and he goes out and he's like, and I think we at a certain point would be frustrated and be like, freaking sheep again went lost. But it's like, no, he's so happy every time and be like, yeah, you're there, you know? Yeah, I got you. I got your back. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like in the lost son, no? He makes a party.
Yeah.
He's back. My son, my sheep is back, and I am happy. You know,
Yeah.
like the lady that finds the coin, and is so happy because she found the coin. No.
You know, actually, like the end of March, so it's like 2 months ago now, more or less. I went for a retreat on the spiritual exercises, the Ignatian retreat, and yeah, we were praying over the prodigal son as well. And it's like, oh, again, the prodigal son. We hear the story the entire time, and it's like, come on, Lord, please, why don't you come with something new at a certain point? But it's because it's so true and it's so real. It's also that for me was again a reminder that es palabra viva, as we say in Spanish. It's living word, you know? So it's you can't say the Bible, it's an old document. No, because every word has meaning now and it has a different meaning before and after. And you know, if you pray over the gospel, every time the Lord will reveal himself through the Holy Spirit in a different way. And so I was praying over the prodigal son. And then for the first time, I noticed, thanks be to God, that he runs out, goes to the son, takes him in his arms, looks at him, and kisses him. And like, I was praying over that for, I think, half an hour over just that. And that's so amazing. Like this, it's his loving and merciful gaze upon us, you know? Yeah. And it's like, don't worry. And don't overthink life and don't overthink his love and his mercy. And yes, it's very complicated, but our small minds will never comprehend all of it because we just can't. You can't fit the entire ocean into this one hole, like on the beach where Saint Augustine like sees the child, right, and says, "You can't do this." No, we will never be able to understand all of it, but everything is good, and just allow yourself to be loved and allow yourself to be forgiven because you are made for love and you are made to love. And I think that's the only thing, yeah.
Okay. So, one last message you would like to share with the people?
One last message.
Song, another verse from the Bible, something that has given you like direction. The last.
I would. Oh, that's a very good one. Oh, there's a song that I actually like quite a lot. It's called Constant.
Okay.
Let me look it up. Bear with me, guys.
No, everybody's disconnected right now. They said I had enough. Enough. I don't care what is your song.
It's Constant by Maverick City Music featuring Chandler Moore. Yeah,
Okay, and
really like it.
what is it about?
It's about Jesus going out on the walking over waters, going to St. Peter, where he invites St. Peter to, you know what, trust in me and you'll be able to walk on waters yourself. And then he falls. It's his fear. The winds, all of a sudden he starts to doubt and I can't do this and all of it. And there is a line in the song that says, "You will never let me drown." And if you think of it, yeah, it's like you don't need to continue to pray over what would happen if, because that's not a reality. He will always go out, he will always take you and make sure you don't drown, and he will always make sure that, yeah, that you're safe. I really like the song. It's very nice. It's a very nice composition.
Okay, I will put it in the beginning and end
Please.
of the podcast. But well, Simon, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very
Was
much, you.
really nice to hear the story. I didn't know it. I just knew like people when I started talking about the podcast, they told me ask Simon, and I was like, maybe I will. So now it's very nice that you were here. You left me thinking about many things that I need to pray over. And yeah, it's great that you had the bravery to come here to
Yeah.
talk about how God has worked in your life.
I'm always grateful to be able to share. It's nice.
And well, have a blessed day.
Okay, you too.
Thank you. And to all our listeners, remember, as Simon, don't be afraid to share your story. Don't be afraid to tell how God has worked in your life. You never know how it can help somebody that is in the same process. And have a blessed week.
Bye, everybody. God bless.